Hey, I'm Michael Lunsford here, Citizens for a New Louisiana. And look, in November, it's not just the president on the ballot. We're talking about all these other different races going on. There are multiple races for judges, and this may not be in your area or not, but we're going to talk about, I have Ms. Kay Gautreaux with me, and she's running for
District Judge in Division K in the 15th Judicial District.
Okay, and we're doing these so that you can get to know the candidates a little better. I know everybody's busy, they're at work, they're doing soccer practice, baseball practice, all this stuff. You don't have an opportunity to go to events where all these guys are. So we're having a little event right here. It's a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
And you get to meet Ms. Kay and you get to hear a little bit more about her. So we're going to dive right in, and I had a couple of questions related to things right now going on in the local judiciary. You and I talked earlier about there's some challenges. I think there's a big backlog. And you had mentioned that you had a plan to resolve it, and the backlog is related to COVID, and they've had to shut down the court and all of that. So what does that look like for you?
Absolutely. So post-COVID, I think the courthouse is going to look very different. I think we're going to have to deal with getting cases back on the docket, getting juries back into the courthouse. So I have a plan, a very extensive plan to do that. I'd like to add trial weeks. Right now, currently, we have only 2 civil trial weeks a year generally, and we have 1 trial week every few months in criminal. It's my plan to add more trial weeks, assuming we can get juries pulled in at that time. I'd like to contact the lawyers involved in the cases, set scheduling orders that will get cases that need to be fast-tracked back on the docket. I'd like to have not just use a cookie cutter scheduling order, but have something tailored to the needs of the litigants. I think if we do all of those things, I think we can get this docket cleaned up in pretty quick order.
And these aren't just theories that you're just coming up with out of nowhere. You're actually a practicing attorney in civil and criminal.
And criminal, yes.
So this is your daily routine. You go to the court, you see what goes on, you see the challenges that you're running into, and you have ideas.
Absolutely. So I've been actively practicing both civil and criminal litigation for over 20 years. I'm the only candidate who is actively practicing both civil and criminal litigation. And so I understand what the problems are. I'm in court 2 to 3 times a week. It has given me a first-hand account of what the problems are, and I feel very confident that I know what those solutions can be in quick order.
Okay. So just a little bit of background. You grew up in Lafayette.
I did.
And we were talking, you went to Fatima
yes.
as a young person. And so what directed you? You decided to become an attorney. What's that family like? How did that work out?
I'm very fortunate to come from a family of a lot of lawyers. My father was a lawyer, and I have a tremendous amount of respect for my dad. He was a fine man. Daddy was city attorney and city prosecutor for 14 years in Lafayette. He was a great example of what I felt like what a lawyer should be. So I thought it was a very noble profession. I'm one of 6 kids, and 4 of us are lawyers, and I have a brother-in-law who's a lawyer. So the law is something that I have always seen as a place where people can go to get good, positive resolution in their lives. My mom was Inez Bustani Carre, and she also has a family of professionals, lawyers, and doctors. And so all of that combined kind of made me move towards the law as a place where I felt like my best talents could be used.
And so when you first got started, you actually, I say first, but when you were getting things going, you actually worked for a local judge.
I did.
What was that like?
I did. It is the best experience that any lawyer just getting out of law school could have, because we often say you get out of law school and you really don't know anything at all. When I worked for Judge Kay Gautreaux on the district court, which was Division K, which is the seat that I'm running for, and I also worked for Judge John Shaw, who was a United States federal judge in Lafayette, and I worked for him for 12 years.
So that's the guy they named the courthouse after, isn't it?
They did. He is well known for his civility his intellect, and he's actually my role model. So I would hope that if elected, that he would be the gold standard for me to work as he did. He was very user-friendly, very respectful, very intelligent, followed the law, all of those things which I would like to emulate in my own practice. But having worked for the judge, worked for the court, I have actually read briefs. I've written opinions for the court that the judge has signed. I have run dockets for the judge. I was in charge of basically the docket management, working with the attorneys. And having been his law clerk and legal assistant, it has told me or taught me what I want my office, if elected, to also look like. I want the lawyers to find it to be a place that they can go to get help and move their cases along.
And so you served as a clerk in the same court. You've got a lot of experience doing that. But I also understand you were actually appointed to serve as a judge in the court as well.
I was appointed. I'm one of few that have been appointed by the Louisiana Supreme Court to sit as a judge pro tem. That means as a temporary judge. So I was appointed by the Supreme Court on several occasions. I actually sat in city court. I actually tried some cases in city court. And so it gave me a very unique perspective. When you put on that robe, it feels very different. You are no longer an advocate. You are now someone who has to sit there and listen well, attentively, and be making judgment calls throughout a trial. And that to me is something that didn't come easily, but I've learned what the requirements are. So that's a unique experience, and I think that also distinguishes me.
Well, I've been really impressed in our conversation and just seeing how you got here, and I really feel like you're in it for all the right reasons, it looks to me. And so look, this is Kay Gautreaux, and she has, I think you have a website and a Facebook page.
I do.
Talk about those real quick?
I have a Facebook page and a website. If you put in Kay Gautreaux for judge, it should come up, or KG for judge. Feel free to look at it. You can private message me if you have any questions about me. I check it often. I respond, good, bad, or indifferent, and so I appreciate you giving me every consideration. I feel like I'm the most experienced candidate, the most well-suited for this position.
Excellent. Well, thank you for coming. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah.
And look, go check out our website, check out our Facebook page, send her questions, and listen. November is coming. It's going to be a long ballot. So inform yourself, get to know about the candidates and what's going to be on your ballot, and make educated decisions. Don't show up on election day not knowing what's going on. You need to inform yourself. That's what we're here for, and we have Ms. Kay. So thank you so much. We'll continue to do these.
Thank you.